Yeah, and Pat Mazika, when he's on the Mets next year, probably going to get a tribute video, too. It's ridiculous, some of the tribute videos that we have now. That is probably when he's trying to not reflect in the last 20 years, reflect when he retires, all that, because that's how he wires. He will definitely get emotional, I would think, or at least get chills up his spine, even if you don't see the tears, when they're going through the first 20 years of his career in the NFL. Anyway, though, I think maybe, you know what, maybe that was a little strong. Maybe not 14 points. Maybe they won't get slaughtered. Maybe that's just because I don't know how to deal with this, usually picking my team to lose, so I'm just going to assume the worst.
What's it like being a home underdog?
It's been a long time. I don't even know that. Oh, I'm sure it happened last year at one point, but with Brady, I don't know. If they were ever home underdog, absolutely pound the Pats as a home dog. This week I can't do it, though. I don't. If I don't think my team's going to win, I don't bet against them. I just don't think they're going to win the football game this week. So the Pats will be 1-3. I'm assuming you agree with that, right?
Yeah.
The Dolphins. This is going to be a close game this week. Jacoby Brissett against his former team in the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz, I guess he will play this week because he did play last week. This game is in Miami. This is a maybe, right? The Colts are in a... I could actually see the Colts winning this week.
How are the Colts going to start off 0-4? I can't see them starting off. I'd be seriously concerned about his overall health if they start 0-4.
Well, he's not even here today.
I hear that's why he's not here, because of the Colts. He just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bad breakup. It doesn't hit you until the next day.
Yeah.
He was in denial yesterday, but then today.
And let me be real. I know when I could be ruthless. I only brought it up for 5 minutes the other night. I did not really go after him because I felt bad. Felt bad for Ryan Tracy.
It's gotten to the point where you're feeling sympathy for him.
Well, I know he has Colts delusion syndrome when he is last night still thinking that the Colts can win the division. That's when I go, okay, I don't need to entertain.
He doesn't know what to do with himself between the Colts and Penn State. It's
Penn State is great.
Well, it's a tornado of emotions inside.
I don't really think that's a problem. So 1-3. Actually, I'm going to say the Dolphins win this week, so they go to 2-2. Excuse me, they're going to go 1-3 because I like the Colts this week. I'll take the Colts. The Chiefs, they go to Philadelphia. Chiefs will get a win. That's a lock.
Slaughterhouse.
That is a lock. They'll be 2-2. The Steelers, they're 1-2. They're going to Lambeau Field.
No chance.
They're going to be 1-3. The way that I want this to happen is I give the analysis. And then if you disagree with it, you let me know. You know, less is more here, McKeon.
I'll stay quiet.
Texans, they're 1-2. They go to Buffalo. No shot. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. 1-3. Washington's football team. That's a maybe. They're going to the Falcons. You know, the Falcons coming off a big win against the Giants. I kind of like the football team this week. Now, Taylor Heineke should not be able to outduel Matt Ryan, but that would be so typical Falcons, right? Even with the new head football coach, they get a win. You're talking yourself into some optimism at 1-2, and then you end up just losing.
Falcons can score. They'll win that game.
Yeah, but doesn't Washington's football team have to eventually play a good game on defense?
The Falcons and the Lions are the two crappy teams in the league that are going to surprise, that are going to just pull out some wins.
I'm going to say that Washington's football team evens it up this week. Eagles, we already talked about them. They'll be 1-3. Seahawks at the 49ers.
Great game.
I just can't see the Seahawks start them 1-3. Like, it could definitely happen against the 49ers. I got to think that there's going to be more consistency there from Russ, who the last 2 weeks, right? Last week they got off to a good start, then they couldn't finish. The same thing happened the week before that. I would think that Russ has a bounce-back performance there 2-2. The Bears at 1-2. They're going up against Lions. The Lions have played teams tough this year. Even though they're not a good team, I think Justin Fields will start. I think Justin Fields will get his first professional win.
Is he going to score?
And they'll go to 2-2.
I mean, the Lions have scored.
Lions stinks.
But the Lions have scored all. And is Justin Fields going to put up 30 points?
Matt Nagy, his job should be on the line this week. If he doesn't win, I would have fired him last year at the end of the season. If he doesn't do a better job protecting Justin Fields this week, and at least you can't have 13 out of the 20 passing attempts, as Orlovsky highlighted, and only have 5 guys protecting. You had to make some adjustments and help out your young quarterback.
And no RPOs at all for a young quarterback.
It was brutal. I'm going to take the Bears, though, this week. They'll get to 2-2.
Disagree completely.
Okay, that's fine. Vikings at 1-2. I against the Browns. That's an underrated, really good game. Because I know the Vikings, they lost those 2 weeks on field goals.
Where's that game?
That is in Minnesota.
Yeah, they're a different team in Minnesota. That's the thing. Every year, they're a different team at home than they are on the road.
This is actually a nice test for the Browns. It's a maybe for Minnesota. Right now, I could change, subject to change throughout the week. I would say when Minnesota has a playoff team, I would lean more loss than win, but I may change it at the end of the week.
If that game was primetime, it would be a Browns win.
And then Falcons, Washington football team, we already talked about it. I think the Falcons at 1-2 are actually going to lose this week, so then I'll have them go to 1-3. So those are what I kind of look at here on a Tuesday. Early read on a Tuesday. We'll see if I feel the same way on Friday on how those teams will play out. When we come on back, the fall of the Philadelphia Eagles. After they won a Super Bowl, this is the new norm. This is going to be a dynasty. That's what the organization told you. A lot has changed. How did we get here? We talk about it next.
Buying a car can be a bumpy ride. You need to get financing from a lender, insurance from an agency, and complete the purchase at a dealership. But Navy Federal Credit Union's fully loaded car buying experience makes car buying smooth. That's because there's everything you need to buy, finance, protect, and enjoy your dream car. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/car buying. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change? We've got what you need to check it off your list. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter, all for just $35.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Every day at Mid-America Christian University, adults just like you are going back to school to earn their college degree. It's about more success and a better life. It's all about your career.
The quality education that I received, combined with the Christian love and service that I was also taught, and can succeed anywhere in the business world.
A new career, a promotion, personal achievement, we get it. That's why we're here at MacU. We'll guide you every step of the way.
If I ever needed anything, they're always there for me.
Choose 1 night a week or 100% online.
The classes were so small, you really got to build a personal relationship with your professors.
It's your career, so let's get started. Go to macu.edu. That's macu.edu. Mid-America Christian University. Your degree, your career, your way.
My MacU experience was incredible.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
HBCU students, it's J.R. Smith. AT&T Dream in Black is calling for rising future makers. It's for the ones influencing and innovating for good, who are emerging from HBCUs, ready to get the chance to win 5Gs presented by AT&T 5G and more. Apply or nominate a current HBCU student today for Rising Future Makers. Learn more at att.com/dreaminblack.
No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. and Ends 10/31/21. Void if prohibited. Subject to official rules. Learn more at att.com/dreaminblack.
No matter what we come in for, Target makes it easy to leave with more of what we value. Come in for Black-owned coffee, leave with change in your hands. Come in for healthier snacks, leave feeling more fulfilled. Come in for affordable lotion, leave feeling like $1 million. When we bring home more of what really matters, we can find better days within our reach. What we value most shouldn't cost more. Target.
ITE.com.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
Do you take a lot of medicine or take care of someone that does? Hero is the new smart device that makes life easier by pre-sorting a 90-day supply of up to 10 different pills. Just pour them in and Hero does the rest.
So easy to use and saves me so much time. I never miss a dose. I'm never late for a dose anymore, and that is so critical to me.
What I like best about my Hero is that it's so easy to set up and it's so easy to use, and I don't have to worry about my pills or get distracted and forget, did I take that pill or not, because it reminds me.
It alerts and dispenses with the push of a button. Plus, Hero sends a friendly alert to you and a caregiver.
Hero is amazing, but you could even live out of state with the person and still program their Hero from the convenience of your phone.
I feel better than I have ever felt simply because I have this device.
Try Hero risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, you don't keep it.
Call 800-608-9432. That's 800-608-9432. 800-608-9432. Call now.
Paid for by Hero Health Incorporated.
Oklahoma City Blue basketball is here. KINB 105.3 FM HD1. Kingfisher, Oklahoma City. A Berry Broadcasting Station.
Good evening, OKC, and welcome to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show. I am your host, Coach Gary Woods, and we are broadcasting live from the kitchen by B&B Catering, located at 4709 North Lincoln Boulevard. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to have a conversation with head basketball coach Mike Jeffries, as the Millwood Falcons varsity basketball team has begun team workouts with some new faces, some new coaches, as well as a new attitude. We'll also have Coach Darwin Franklin, head football coach, join us to discuss the Week 4 football game between the Millwood Falcons and the Prague Red Devils, which resulted in a home loss for our mighty Falcons, 37-6. But more importantly, we're going to discuss how the team is preparing to bounce back this week against Kellyville on the road in Kellyville, Oklahoma, this Friday at 7 p.m. With that said, we have a full hour and a multitude of topics and interviews. And so if you want to listen in, you can tune in to tonight's broadcast on the Millwood Falcons YouTube channel and on CBS Sports Radio, which is 105.3 HD1 on your FM dial. The Millwood Falcons Coaches Show is being brought to you tonight by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, OG&E, and SSM Health, St. Anthony's Health Systems. So right now, let's take our first break, and we'll be back with the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show after these messages.
What's been happening this summer has never happened before. People that have owned cars for years, they're trading them in, and they're getting what they originally paid. But new cars, they're finally being shipped out to the dealers, meaning the used car hype, it's coming to an end. But before it does, cash in on your car at Boomer Kia. It doesn't matter what's wrong with your car. Boomer Kia wants it, even if you owe $8,000 more than it's worth. Boomer Kia will give you cash for your car, or you can make the switch to a brand new Kia with zero money down and zero payments for up to 6 months. That's a brand new Kia with nothing down and no payments for up to 6 months. Are you unsure about your credit? Get pre-approved instantly, all without hurting your credit. Just click the iPrecheck banner at boomerkia.com. I'm James Wade, General Manager at Boomer Kia, and I am here literally every day. If you are not 100% satisfied, don't leave. Come see me.
With approved credit with KMF. Deferred payments by dealer. Interest accrues date of sale. Plus tax tag and license expires 10/5/21.
Oklahoma City, it's high school football time. SSM Health and Metro Technology Centers presents CBS Sports Radio 105.3's High School Football Game of the Week.
Friday night, October 1st starts with a bang as the Westmore Jaguars head north for a showdown with the Wolves of Edmond Santa Fe.
You can hear the game live right here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3, starting at 6:30 p.m. with Swick and Dylan Tribble. Also online at KINBFM.com or with our app streamed by PPBC. You can also watch the game on our stream at All City on YouTube.
Listen live Friday starting at 6:30 with Jay Swick and Dylan Tribble. Go to KINBFM.com or download the app stream by PPBC.
The OKC CBS Sports Radio 105.3 Game of the Week broadcast is brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams, Metro Technology Centers, Super Prep, Communication Federal Credit Union, Family Leisure, and SSM Health.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
My name is Keyshawn, and I'm a designer and graduate from North Carolina A&T. No matter what I'm creating, I always stay true to what I believe in, and no matter the heights I reach, I know my community is with me every step of the way. Winning Target's HBCU Design Challenge was an incredibly meaningful experience, and it's just the beginning for me. Beyond helping to build my resume, it's helping build my legacy. Celebrate your legacy. Invest in the future. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Visit Target.com/Black Beyond Measure to learn more.
And we are back. Welcome to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show. I'm your host, Coach Gary Woods, and we are broadcasting live from the kitchen by B&B Catering, located at 4709 North Lincoln Boulevard. And let me tell you, if you haven't been over to the kitchen, man, you don't know what you're missing. This is a place where you can come and get some home cooking, some of the best fish, chicken, meatloaf, cabbage, greens, jalapeno cornbread. So if you're out and about and you're thinking about, hey, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? Come on over to the kitchen located at 4709 North Lincoln Boulevard. They close their doors at about 7 o'clock, but if you get in before they shut them, they will take care of you. So right now with the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show, we are joined by the head coach of the Millwood Falcons varsity basketball team, Coach Mike Jeffries. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for joining us tonight on the show. You know, I stopped in on you. You had the players were in the gym. They were kind of doing a little bit of a shoot around, which is perfectly okay per OSSAA rules. And let me tell you, Coach, when I saw the number of players that were in the hot box and I was looking at the level of intensity and the excitement that's coming for this upcoming season, I couldn't help but to be excited. Can you talk a little bit about what's different with this year's Millwood Falcons varsity basketball team?
Well, obviously we have some new coaches, some new players. We have a huge freshman class this year, so a lot of those numbers coming from those freshmen. The intensity obviously is coming from just me and, we got Nate Jones is over with us from Douglas. Chevy Smith, he was already there. He's runs my 8th grade program, but he also comes and helps me be an assistant coach there with a lot of energy. I also still have Donnie Lewis from last year. So it's intense. It's a lot going on. So we're excited.
Yeah, and you know something, your numbers are really good as well, and you don't have all of your players with you because you probably have about, 4 or 5 that are still playing football?
I have 4 for sure, but there's always a couple more that might surprise you that come out from football. They have quite a bit of new kids too. Some of those kids may come out and want to play basketball as well. I mean, the 4 obviously is Ricky Hunt, Carlos Strong, and Darius Jones and Robert Wilson. Darius Jones last year didn't get to play with us because he tore ACL. Robert Wilson was a freshman last year. He played freshman ball, but he's really came around a lot. So I'm anticipating a lot from him.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed right away with this group of kids that you have now, young men, I should refer to them as young men, is that you have a nucleus of experience, but then you also have some new faces that are bringing some skill sets to the table that could really, really, change the complexion of this team as it relates to, how these guys come together and form this one unit of a basketball team. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing early on, just in terms of, athleticism, in terms of in the work that these guys have done, of course, in the offseason?
But most of these kids have been with me since their freshman year. I mean, I got the class of 2022. Those guys, Kobe Lodge, Jalen Dillard. They've been with me since the beginning. I also have the class 2023 with William Mays and a couple of those other kids on the football field.
Yeah.
And they're just, I mean, they understand my my philosophy and my culture, and they're just really digging into it. I mean, Will Mays is really being a big leader for me, which is a big deal. And it's just keeping that intensity up. And, I mean, like I said, also with those coaches, man. I mean, Chevy Smith, I mean, he just comes in with so much energy. Yeah. Nate with the experience and just, the energy as well. And Donnie was with us last year also. So we just have, it's just a lot going on. I mean, like I said, the freshman class is just huge. We have a big freshman class. So we have a lot of freshmen. I have 2 really good freshmen that I'm anticipating to play varsity. Chance Davis and Jaden Nickens. Jaden Nickens has already received a couple of offers from a D1 program. So, yeah, we're excited.
That's good. That's real good. So, okay, you talked about that the coach that you added to your staff that was at Douglas High School. He was the varsity head coach over there. And I remember those games. Those were some intense battles. I remember you standing on your side of the court and he's on his side, and now you guys are on the same team, on the same sideline. Can you talk a little bit about, your new coaching addition and what you're seeing already as that comes together early on in this process?
Well, me and Nate, we've maintained a friendship even though we coached against each other. We always, it was always an intense battle, like you said. But, I mean, we would always call each other and lean on each other, when it came to certain things. We was already, friends, outside of the competition. But, when things just didn't work out for him at Douglas, at some point he just reached out to me. And I was like, man, I'd love to have you over there. So, I mean, I knew that was going to be a big deal. And, huge for us, for our program. So him coming was huge. And, I mean, like I said, he just brings that experience. He's got a state championship as an assistant coach. So he understands how to be a head coach, how to be an assistant coach the whole nine. I mean, Chevy Smith, he was an assistant coach at Cassidy, but he still worked in the building. So, obviously I wanted him to be on my
I remember
that.
I remember when he was an assistant over at Cassidy. Yeah. Of course, in my coaching experience, I spent some time over at Cassidy as well. I saw the product that they had on the court, which was a pretty good product for an SBC private school. So, again, to add him into the fold on your coaching staff brings another level of intensity as well. Yeah. I can definitely see it in the workout.
Yeah, he's extreme, you know what I mean? But it's good, and the kids love him. That's that's another thing too. He has a great relationship with all the kids. I mean, he gets on to them, he holds them accountable. I mean, it's just, I'm excited about this staff. Like I said, Donnie was with me last year, so Donnie Lewis understands what's going on. Yeah. And everybody just kind of has their knacks and their roles of how to, we just reach the most out of our kids. So it's just a perfect combination right now.
You said something that made my ears stand up. You were talking about accountability, holding accountable. And I think Millwood, as a school district, they're big on accountability in terms of, some of the decisions that were made earlier a couple of weeks ago, as a couple of weeks ago in terms of accountability. And then also, too, I hear you use those words, accountability. I hear Coach Franklin, and I also hear Athletic Director Shannon Hayes use the words accountability. You are all speaking the same language. Can you talk a little bit about what you try to do as a head coach when you're trying to build, as the district motto says, champions in the classroom, on the field, and in life?
Well, I mean, they know how I am. I'm very persistent, man. You know what I mean? I just, they know how I am about just being on time and just everything. So I hold them accountable in every single situation. I mean, after practice, I always talk about grades. They know I check their grades all the time. I talk, every day I talk to them about just grades, just eating right, just being on time, just all the little things that just later on in life is going to help them out. I was just telling them today, some of you freshmen, ask these seniors how important that GPA is, especially if you want to go to college. So, every day I'm just in their heads every single day. Right after practice, I'm always, hey, man, make sure you take care of your grades. I told them today I'm going to, make sure Coach Jones, Coach Shevitz, and Coach Lewis all have access to Infinite Campus so we can all constantly check their grades, and make sure that, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they know, if they come to my, if they're on an ineligible list or on probation, anything, they know there's consequences immediately.
Yes.
They don't even want to come to practice when they know know that they're on that list. You know what I mean? A lot of them, they know we accept them to go to tutoring. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, that tutoring is good, but you should have been handling your business in class. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need that extra help, but
preventive medicine in that case,
medicine,
right?
Man, and that's the thing. I'm always telling them, be proactive. You know what I mean? Don't wait around to see what's going to happen. If you're struggling or something, get on it right now. If you know you're going to be absent from school or whatever the situation is, let your teacher know immediately what's going on, so you won't have to sit there and see what's going to happen, because by then it's too late.
Okay.
So I'm always telling them to be proactive, man. So I hold them accountable in every situation.
Last week we talked with Coach Franklin about student athletes that have aspirations of going to college and playing collegiate sports. In his case, we were talking about football, but you have players that want to also go and play basketball in college. And so I want to hold that thought, because it's time for us to take a break. And when we come back, I want to expand that conversation, because based on what I saw, we have some players that have the ability and the talent who can go on, like your son, and maybe earn an athletic scholarship, and we want to talk through that process. So like I said, it's time for us to take a break. We'll be back here at the kitchen by B&B Catering. And like I said, if you're looking for something to eat, come on by. This is a great place to have dinner. So, again, we're going to come back in a few and continue our discussion with Coach Mike Jeffries after these messages.
Oklahoma City. Tune in for the Dick's Sporting Goods Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaching Show. This great show will give a live, in-depth look at Oklahoma City Public Schools varsity programs. Hosted by former OU Sooners and John Marshall Bears standout Michael McDaniel every Monday at 6 p.m. from Dick's Sporting Goods Store, located at 6601 Southwest 3rd. Listen on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 with our app, streamed by PVBC, and watch on our All-City YouTube page. It's the Oklahoma City Public Schools Coaches Show, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods Stores and OKC CBS Sports Radio 105.3.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Did you know that the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started his classes in March, and in September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. mycomputercareer.edu.
My name is Keyshawn, and I'm a designer and graduate from North Carolina A&T. No matter what I'm creating, I always stay true to what I believe in. And no matter the heights I reach, I know my community's with me every step of the way. Winning Target's HBCU Design Challenge was an incredibly meaningful experience, and it's just the beginning for me. Beyond helping to build my resume, it's helping build my legacy. Celebrate your legacy. Invest in the future. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Visit Target.com/Black Beyond Measure to learn more.
COVID-19 has changed how we live and how we feel. But now there are vaccines, and they are the first step that lets us get back to the things we miss most, like spreading the word without spreading concern, girls tripping instead of solo sipping, and talking smack with a side of mac and cheese. It's okay to have questions about COVID-19 vaccines. Now, get the facts. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when COVID-19 vaccines are available to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show, which is being brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, OG&E, and SSM St. Anthony's Health Systems. I am your host, Gary Woods, and we are being joined right now by head coach of the Millwood Falcons varsity basketball team, Coach Mike Jeffries. And we were just talking, Coach, before we went to the break, a little bit about some of the players that you have, and we were talking about those student athletes who are aspiring to one day try to go and play basketball in college. Can you talk a little bit about some of those conversations that you've had with some of our student athletes there at Millwood?
Well, yeah, I've been blessed to have a couple of kids go to college, and so I kind of understand what it takes, and just I've developed a lot of relationship with coaches at the collegiate level. So yeah, like I said, I just try to tell those kids, the work ethic, just understanding, because if you do go play college ball, it's tough.
It's a job.
It's not easy. Mm-hmm. So like I said, just all the things that we try to reiterate every single day about just work ethic, accountability, and just grades. All those things filter in to having a possibility to go play college ball, because a lot of these kids, they won't get a full athletic scholarship. So those grades, my son got athletic and academic scholarship, which paid for his whole. So
tell the listeners about your son, because I'm sure he's probably called home and talked to you about, Dad, this ain't like high school. Because I remember when your son was playing at Millwood, and he represented himself and the program extremely well. He was blessed to get a scholarship to go play. Remind me of, did he Tabor College, yeah. Yep. And so I'm sure that he probably called home and told you about how it was different, as well as the demand, because I think we have not only some parents that are listening to us, but we also have some student athletes who are aspiring, and they need to know, that, hey, it's not like high school.
No, it's not like high school. I've been blessed. Miles is just he's a good kid, and he understands that work ethic. So for him, it's kind of instilled, and he's kind of got that habit of just being able to kind of deal with those certain situations. Yeah. Before he went to college, obviously we was dealing with the COVID situation, and every day we worked out. So he just had, so for him it's just a habit, and that's the thing I'm trying to let these kids know too. Like, you got to put you got to have your mind, your body, everything. You got to have a habit of just working out and have that work ethic, because if you don't, it's just gonna be tough. When we were doing our conditioning today, some of those kids, it gets hard. We understand it, but you just got to push through it to get better. You can't just keep stopping at a certain time, because you're just gonna kind of stay stagnant at where you are. So. Right. We talked about it today. I said, man, this is nothing compared to if you guys go to college. When you go to college, it's just the workouts are a lot more extreme. They're a lot harder. Mm-hmm. So just try to get your mind, we talk about just eating habits, drinking water, staying hydrated, just all those things I talk about every day, because, it's just going to help you in the long run. So right. Just understanding just, your work ethic, and just taking care of your grades and your responsibilities, and, and you should be all right, because you got to be responsible. When you go to college, you don't have your mommy and your daddy, waking you up. You got to wake up on your own.
You're right about
that. You have, there's just structure.
Yeah.
You got a certain time. You got to be
meetings.
Practice, weights, workouts, is all those things. So, we just try to prepare, our kids the best we can. I'm hard on them, and I tell them, it's not personal.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, make you the best person I can make you be.
And to be totally honest, Coach, you would be doing that student athlete a disservice if you did not do your best to prepare them for what is to come. Right? Yeah. Because I mean, you don't want them to get to college and get shell shocked when they say, "Hey, 5 a.m. run."
I call and check on my kids that's in college, and I call the coaches, and I mean, this last, they're all started, school. I mean, I've talked to all the coaches and my kids that's in school, and they all said nothing but great things.
That's awesome.
It's just, it's so rewarding, man, and it just feels so good to hear these college coaches say how hard my kids are working and just how well they're doing. So,
good.
I love that.
You touched on, COVID being something that everyone's having to deal with. I've had conversations with Coach Franklin about how he's handling COVID. He's practicing outside. Of course, the players, they share a locker room. But, what's different about varsity basketball is that you all are practicing inside. Can you talk a little bit about, how COVID has had an impact on, some of the things that you're having to take in consideration when you're, when you're taking that 1 hour or whatever that was being allowed for you to spend a little bit of time of instruction with your kids?
Well, we've been outside a lot too, because I make my kids do cross country. But now that we have been in the gym, I just try to make sure they just kind of, keep their cans as clean as possible. You know what I mean? Sanitize, and it's a little difficult for them to stay
away from each other.
Mm-hmm. But we just try to, just try to keep them sanitized the best we can, man, and just just make them be conscious of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we don't require vaccinations. I'm recommending it.
Yeah.
But that's up to them, their families. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't. That's completely up to them. I'm not. That's not a debate for me. If they do it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But we just hope that we don't have any issues. We haven't had any issues as far as maybe a couple of kids had a quarantine, but nobody's had COVID.
That's awesome.
This year, so hopefully it doesn't get to that point. I mean, I think things are getting a lot better. Obviously, with, the vaccinations and everything, but I'm just hoping everything works out because, like I said, that 2020 year that was devastating for us not to be we went to state and didn't have that opportunity. We were ranked #1 the whole year last year. COVID, man, it was just a lot of inconsistency with just the quarantine, COVID, and the ice storm. There's just so much going on last year, so we're really excited about this year.
Yeah, very disruptive. All of that. Trying to develop continuity with your players, and
it was tough.
So, talk to me a little bit about perhaps building on last year's successes and experiences and what you are hopeful for this upcoming basketball season with this group of young men.
Well, like I said, last year was just, it was an experience. It was a bad experience because of COVID, but the kids that were there, the class of 2022 and the 2023 class, they were there to kind of experience that situation. So I think we can just build on just being more consistent with certain situations, being more focused, being more disciplined. Like I said, I feel like I have, more of a leadership of my team, which was a big deal for last year. I just didn't feel like I had that leadership. I mean, they were good kids, but it's just, having that type of leadership is just different. That 2020 class, that 2019 class, I had leadership on the team. And it makes a big difference, you know what I mean? And, also having that coaching staff this year is, they, like I said, Chev was there last year, so he got to see certain situations. And Nate was at Douglas. He went through the same thing with just, the COVID situation. And like I said, Donnie was with us last year, so he got to experience it. So we've got to experience a lot last year to build on for this year. And like I said, we have new pieces, with the younger kids, you know what I mean? And, like I said, the experienced kids that kind of went through those things and that leadership.
Yeah.
So all those things just help us build for this year.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm very excited. I mean, we got a deep, we have a good bench. I mean, we're solid all the way around. So I'm very excited.
Well, man, I tell you, Coach, I'm looking forward to having you as well as Coach David Albert on Monday nights, during basketball season. It's always exciting to be able to call the games and then also be able to rehash and just kind of talk through, what's going on with our athletic programs as well. And we also have other sports that are happening during the winter, and we also have other sports that are happening right now in the fall, and we're going to get these other coaches in to talk about their programs, because it's not just football and basketball at Millwood High School, but at the same time, we also realize that football and basketball are extremely important to supporting all of the other programs that we have, and we're fortunate to have you in that leadership role for our basketball program, Coach Dava, for the girls basketball program, as well as having Coach Franklin for football and the other coaches. Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being a part of the Falcon family. Hey, right now we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be joined by head football coach, Coach Darwin Franklin, and he's going to talk a little bit about this past week's game versus Prague, and also looking forward to the upcoming contest at Kellyville, in which right now the Falcons are looking to bounce back and get a road victory. And so we're going to be back after these messages. We are here at the kitchen by B&B Catering, located at 4709 North Leakin Boulevard. If you're out and about, get on over here. We only have so much time before they close the doors. So get on over here if you can. And like I said, we'll be right back after these messages.
COVID-19 has changed how we live and how we feel. But now there are vaccines, and they are the first step that lets us get back to the things we miss most, like spreading the word without spreading concern, girls tripping instead of solo sipping, and talking smack with a side of mac and cheese. It's okay to have questions about COVID-19 vaccines. Now, get the facts. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when COVID-19 vaccines are available to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Did you know that the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started his classes in March, and in September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision ever. Even easier than deciding to open the biggest birthday gift first.
Happy birthday to you.
Which one are you going to open first?
The pony!
Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is banking with Capital One even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. No fees or minimums on new consumer accounts. Capital One, and member FDIC.
No matter what we come in for, Target makes it easy to leave with more of what we value. Come in for Black-owned coffee, leave with change in your hands. Come in for healthier snacks, leave feeling more fulfilled. Come in for affordable lotion, leave feeling like $1 million. When we bring home more of what really matters, we can find better days within our reach. What we value most shouldn't cost more. Target.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
But we have a truck leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on assignment retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
Oversee production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And we are back. You like that beat?
That's that Red Man.
You like that?
What's the album? Yeah.
Hey, you know what? My engineer, man, he's holding me down tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
He told me he had something for me. I said, okay, just do what you do. Hey, we are back. We are here at the kitchen, located at 4709 North Lincoln Boulevard. And this is the Millwood Falcon Coaches Show. I am your host, Coach Gary Woods. And we are joined by the head football coach of the Millwood Falcons varsity football team, Coach Darwin Franklin. How you doing, Coach Franklin?
I'm all right.
Good, good. Hey, this past week, the Millwood Falcons had a game against Prague. Outcome wasn't what we wanted it to be. The Falcons lost that one. However, in visiting with you a little bit earlier today, you were talking about, hey, you know what, it's about learning and it's about rebounding and getting ourselves prepared to go to Kellyville and see if we can't get us a victory at Kellyville on the road.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about what was today's practice like, and also yesterday's practice, and kind of what's going on with the football team right now, and what is it that you're kind of trying to get this team to understand and embrace as we prepare for a victory this upcoming Friday?
Our situation isn't unique. You
Okay.
know, there's millions of people that's played this game that has had 31-point losses or worse.
Okay.
You know, so getting them to get out of that youth and be able to face adversity head on, not find a way to get away from it, not try to find a shortcut out of it, but take it head on and do it the old-fashioned way, just work, hard work, detail-oriented, and that's what our practice was really about.
Right.
It is about, I was looking at this before it came on, it's just the little details, you know, and that's what we spent more time focused on, the little things. Yesterday, JV had a game, so they got better, you know, which is huge for us when you got half of your program are freshmen.
Okay.
So the youth is involved, and we got to get them ready for down the line. Week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 playoffs, they got to be going, and we got to be able to get guys in there to spell in certain situations and constantly get that knowledge increasing. The varsity guys, we watched film, we saw what mistakes we made, and then we really spoke about adversity and identifying having them look in themselves and find out what is your breaking point. What's going to break you.
Okay.
And just from the standpoint of your girlfriend don't want to talk to you today, is that going to break you? So now you don't want to be at practice.
Right.
You get a bad grade in class, now you want to quit school. If the lights are off, now you want to just quit on life? No. I mean, we're all going to have those things, and we need to figure out what our breaking point is as individuals, because if I have a breaking point that's different than your breaking point or vice versa, that compromises us in a game. If that pressure is coming and you fumble the ball and now that's your breaking point, now you can't forget about it fast enough, and here goes this snowball effect and it's quicksand. So just really getting the guys to understand that this isn't unique. Coach Wood says something. There's not a coach in here that haven't experienced what you've experienced. There's not a coach in here that's been trucked that hasn't been trucked.
That's right.
There's not a coach in here or a quarterback that hasn't thrown a pick. There's not a guy that's missed a tackle. There's not a guy that missed a kick. There's nobody that has not done that. So get past that.
Now, when you talk about Coach Woods, you're talking about the other Coach Woods. There's about 4 of us.
Yeah.
So he's talking about
Donovan.
defensive coordinator Donovan Woods, who actually joined the staff, your staff this year, and is leading the defense from that standpoint and trying to get kids, to understand that, hey, you know what? You got to have a short memory. You got to bounce back. You got to take what is being taught, absorb it, apply it. You know, those life skills, right?
And on the offense, it's funny because Coach Black is talking first in offense.
Okay.
Coach Batson is sitting there telling them, guys, you got to shake this stuff off. You can't let it just drag you down. Right. Coach Black is saying it's just one rep at a time. That's how you get back in a ball game, one play at a time. It's not a bunch of different stuff. Just dominate this one play. And not 3 seconds after that, Coach Woods comes in and he's like, man, this is just adversity, dude. You got to let it go. You know, so really getting the guys to not – it's amazing this generation takes so much stuff to heart and it bogs them down.
Okay.
And they can't let it go. And it's like there's no way you've been successful in everything up to this point.
No.
Guys.
Failure is a part of the learning process. Difficulty is a part of the maturation process.
Right.
And that's what's happening right now, Coach, is that you have a large segment of your team that's growing into their role as varsity football players, and at the same time, they're getting life skills in the classroom and life skills on the playing field.
And the toils of the classroom go along with it too.
Yeah.
You know, now they're realizing, oh, shoot, I got to be in class from 8 o'clock until 3:20. Go to mandatory tutorials every day from this point on.
That's right.
After this stuff that we've gone through.
Right.
And then I got to hit the practice field and go to practice and be where my feet are there, have my mind where my feet are, and then turn right around and leave the field and go home, and hopefully we're getting studies then.
Right.
Go to bed and wake up and do it again.
That's right.
And a lot of these guys are saying, I want to play D1 ball. What do you think it's going to look like? This is what it's going to look like.
Right,
you know?
right.
Minus the 5 a.m. workout.
Right. You don't have the 5 a.m. run.
We don't have the 5 a.m. run.
Right.
We don't have the team meeting at 1 and 2.
Mandatory meal.
I mean, we don't have that. Study hall if you're a freshman at 9 p.m. to 10. And then 10 o'clock you can go to your dorm room and get some sleep because you're doing it again at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it right now, maybe we need to reevaluate what you want long term.
You know what's so tremendous about this, Coach, is that I just had Coach Jeffries here, and we were talking about the same thing from a basketball perspective. You're describing it from a football perspective in terms of students, you know, student athletes who want to go on to become college ball players. They want that scholarship. It's important that they understand the demand of taking that next step.
Right.
You know, that it's not, you know, easy, but it's good for you.
It's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, you really get a sense of self. You get a sense of something bigger than you.
Right.
You know. And at the same time, you're taking care of your family. You're doing what you need to do for your benefit later on. But you got to learn what to do. You got to learn from high school how to get to that.
No, you just don't wake up one day and it's there.
No.
Right.
You know, so you got to understand what that means. And if a school isn't pushing you and they're not pushing you past your comfort zone and making you be bigger than you and really pressing yourself mentally, then what are you preparing for?
You know something, your dad played college football. You played college football. I played college football. Coach Woods played college football, your defensive coordinators, and so many of you, Coach Black, and so many of those other.
Coach played baseball.
Batson played baseball in college.
Yeah.
Coach Nick.
Coach Henny played
Coach
football.
Henderson played football at University of Tulsa. You know, so you try to prepare them, your student athletes, your players, for this. And, you know, it could either be looked at one of two ways, especially for your freshman players. They're getting a taste of it right now when in reality most freshman players, they kind of can hide behind the leadership and not be thrown into the fire.
Right.
But, you know, that's not the case for this year's Millwood Falcon varsity team. You got freshman players who, you know, they have to learn a lot. Classroom, they have to learn how to be a varsity football player, learn how to be accountable, responsible, and hold down a starting role with that 22.
And
that starting 22.
And be tough mentally.
Yeah.
You got to be tough mentally and physically. You know, everybody hurt right now. Everybody's sore right now. Everybody has bangs and bruises. And guys are really fighting through it. Yeah. And depending on what that level is and what our team doctors will say, you know, we'll go off of that. But it's the demands, and we're not cutting any corners. Our freshmen they're doing a very good job, you know, and we value our JV program. Yeah. Coach A is the head JV coach, and they just had a game yesterday versus Elgin on the road.
On the road,
you know. Wow. So we're not playing down. We're not going and doing that. We got to get guys going, you know.
And your freshman kids are getting double reps.
Yes,
they're playing JV, and then a lot of them are playing on Friday night varsity. So I mean, it's grow up time,
and it's not just freshmen. You know,
you got some sophomore players and some junior players.
If you're older, but we need our JV program's purpose is to evaluate and to get more reps for young guys that might not get that many on game night.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that they're getting game reps, getting ready to go, so that when they come Friday, if we put you in, you know you're used to these lights. They might be different, and the stage may be bigger, and it may be more fans. But what we're going to do is what we're going to do. And you got to be ready to go. Yeah. So as a program, we value that the junior varsity and our middle school program is huge, and they're doing a great job with Coach Palmore and coaches that play in college.
That's right, Coach Palmore, Oklahoma State guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is huge. This is we're growing and we're learning.
Okay.
And we're learning a lot.
Yeah.
So,
well, good.
You know, if you're going to strike, get it now.
Yeah. Hey, you know, right now we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to transition to the upcoming game this Friday night on the road at Kellyville. Talk a little bit about, you know, what you think about that program and what you see and your preparation this week and how you feel about the preparation this week. And so we're going to dive into that a little bit in the last 15 minutes of our program. But for right now, we need to go ahead and take a break. Again, you're listening to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show, and we're broadcasting live right now at the kitchen by B&B Catering. So again, if you're out and about, come on through. You have about 15 minutes before the doors are closed, but if you get your order in, you can you know, they'll definitely take care of you. So again, you're listening to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show, which can be followed on the Millwood Falcons YouTube channel and on the FM dial 105.3 HD1. So we will be back after these messages.
Leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on a silent retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
She's gonna oversee production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Listen up, OKC. Over this past year, I know you've heard about it. You've probably even thought about it, but you failed to act on it. And if you don't act soon, you're going to miss your chance to hit it big with your trade only at Boomer Kia. Right now, your vehicle could be worth crazy amounts. If it's only a few years old and has less than 40,000 miles, it could be worth more now than when it was new. What do you do when a stock price is high? You sell it. Boomer Kia wants your vehicle, no matter the brand or the condition. Boomer Kia will pay off your trade no matter what you owe, and will give you cash for your car today. So make the switch to a brand new Kia with zero money down, 0% interest, and zero payments for 6 full months. Only at Boomer Kia. Worried about your credit? Don't be. Get pre-approved instantly, all without hurting your credit. Click the iPrecheck banner at boomerkia.com. I'm James Wade, General Manager here at Boomer Kia. I'm here every single day. If you're not 100% satisfied, don't leave. See me.
With approved credit with KMF. Deferred payments by dealer. Interest accrues date of sale plus tax, tag, and licensing. Expires 10/5/21.
Man, y'all tripping me out with this, man.
You like this music?
Y'all throwing me back to high school, man. We was going to play John Marshall when this album came out. I'll never forget this, boy. Yeah,
welcome back to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show. I'm your host, Coach Gary Woods, and we're joined by the head coach of the Millwood Falcons football team, Coach Darwin Franklin. And before we took a break, Coach, we were talking a little bit about, again, making the necessary adjustments to get the football team better. And it started with Monday's practice. And so let's talk a little bit about, what did you see on Monday and Tuesday, and how are you feeling in your preparation for the upcoming game against Kellyville?
Monday we had a lot of guys that, like I said, it was the JV game. So to be able to get the old heads in there and really just talk to them and get them to understand their leadership and their role, as the responsibility they have with the program. Be able to talk to them and see that what they understood and what they didn't. We thought they understood it, and they didn't.
Okay.
Which it showed. So now to flip and show the film and say, this is what we were talking about. And they're like, oh, yeah. And this is what happens when you don't do that.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Getting them to just tell you, Coach, I don't know.
Yeah, just say it. Just
say it. It's okay.
I'm lost.
It's okay to say I don't know, Coach.
Right.
Because here's the reality. You're going to play anyway, son. So let's make sure you got you straightened out, right?
And the reality also is they probably don't know, and there's probably somebody right next to them that don't know either.
Right.
So both of y'all are sitting there not saying nothing. We're on the outs. And we put our livelihoods in the hands of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and and so you got to know it's a calling. You got to know it's
definitely a calling.
But so it was good from that point.
But we've both been in that situation too as young players, right?
Yeah.
We lining up next to each other on the old line. Hey, you know what you're doing?
Am I down? And I got a down block? Or am I out?
I don't know. I tell you what, let's double.
Just stumble through this.
Let's double.
and then
you take that one, I take that one.
And you ain't got Chop on the line. It's going to make you accountable. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, talk a little bit about our upcoming opponent, Kellyville.
Coach Cherry, Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
First year there, and we know they're going to be clicking on all cylinders. Very, very good ball club, very physical ball club. Got a nice line up front. They a couple big guys that come pulling through there, and if you don't have your head on the swivel, you don't play your technique right, they'll ear hole you. So it's going to be a good one. Last year's game
that game was wild.
Man, that was a Big 12 playoff.
That was a wild game.
I don't know how Lincoln Riley and All them guys go through that every week.
Yeah.
50, 60 points, and whoever can get a stop will win. I mean,
blood pressure medicine.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, however we can get it, we just need to get on the winning side. That's the biggest thing. And with our practice today, the details that coaches was paying attention to, the players was paying attention to details. The old heads was more vocal and demanding more things, and not really demanding in a negative way, just demanding better effort. You know, and if we can get that, and then along with the teaching aspect and all of that, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And those young guys, those freshmen, they're big to what we're doing because they're in some big spots. I mean, it's shoot.
They're being asked to return kickoffs, return punts,
play receiver,
play on the offensive line. Your Mike linebacker is a freshman.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how are we this week in terms of getting our players completely back? I know we had some COVID stuff. We had some concerns, with some probationary type stuff, academic probationary type stuff, and we also had some injuries, just aches and sprains and pains. Are we pretty much getting our guys, back in terms of our numbers?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was looking down at. Yeah, for the most part, we got a couple guys that's on probation and a couple guys that's ineligible and a couple guys that's out. But past that, I mean, we're in a position to where we can do what we need to do. And really the guys that's on probation are guys that's new to the program, so they're still trying to figure it out. And the guys that's ineligible are new to the program as well.
Yeah, so you're talking about new to the higher standard of Millwood, or are you talking about just new to
the program
in terms
both.
of youth, maturity?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of both. New to the program as far as being at Millwood and that higher academic standard. Yeah. And then first year coming out and really playing.
Okay.
So they have to get used to that demand as well. And then the other thing is that we only go through that so long with ineligible players, you know, as a program, because it hits a point. We got to know you're going to be there. And if if you haven't been there, then we need you to focus, especially if you're a senior. We need you to make sure you graduate.
Yeah.
Let's stop worrying about us. Go make sure we graduate. So we want to, loosen up your time and do what you need to do. We still love you. We'll do anything for you. But because we do love you, we're saying leave us so you can go and be successful and get out of here. So we got a couple of those situations that's happening.
Well, every school has those situations. It's not that, Millwood is unique. No, I mean, the same thing is happening at Edmond Santa Fe. The same thing is happening at Heritage Hall. Same thing is happening at, Emma Memorial and, Enid and all of the, trust me, I talked to my brother Rashawn, and he tells me that the same thing that we struggle with here at Millwood in terms of just trying to get help grow players up and teach life skills and things of that nature, guess what? They're doing it in other places. That's why it is such a big deal, and it is such an honor to be called coach, because you are a coach for life, and you are putting your hands on, in terms of molding the minds and the hearts of young men and women, if you're coaching the young ladies as well, and helping them to grow into becoming productive adults, citizens, and things of that nature. It's more than just a game.
Yeah.
It's way more than just a game. And like I said, I'm so thankful, and I know that the coaches here at Millwood are thankful that that is the most important thing for the leadership at Millwood. It's not always about the wins and losses. Although we like to win, it's equally as important that we turn out a good product in terms of a successful individual.
And the process is important at Millwood. It's the whole process. You got to fall in love with it. If you don't love the journey of getting there, you'll look back. It's something my dad used to tell me all the time, and I get it now.
Right.
You got to really enjoy it along the way. He never did. It was just grind. And looking back at stuff, you enjoy seeing those kids that are freshmen and maybe they couldn't even tie their shoes to now they're a senior and you signing a letter of intent and you're like,
oh man,
this is I remember when you didn't even want to go to class.
Right.
And now
you're getting an opportunity.
I mean, it's beautiful. Those are the things that's great. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff people see on Fridays that you don't see Saturday through Thursday. and that's
wait a minute. Say that again. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that people see on Friday. Everybody can tell you what to do on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me what to do on Wednesday when I just find out that this kid's got in trouble and now he's suspended and we got to revamp everything going into Thursday, which is a jog through, and the game is on Friday. You know, those are the things.
Or not that the kid did anything wrong, but the kid got sick.
Yeah,
or got exposed to COVID, or a passing in the family.
Right.
You know, all of those things. You know, and Millwood is a family, and so you know, what do? We put our arms around that situation. We understand. We rally. And we move on.
And we gotta treat those things like an injury. And next man up, and let's go.
That's right.
And
that's right.
If they make mistakes, they make mistakes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Coach, hey, you know, it's we're at the top of the hour, and you know, I really, you know, appreciate you for stopping in and again participating in the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show. I know that from week to week, depending on the outcome, the conversation may be, you know, a little bit different. But again, I think all in all, the message is that this is a place that while we value athletics, we also value academics and serving the whole student, the student athlete or the individual, the whole student body, you know. So again, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Again, you have been listening to the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show, and the Millwood Falcons Coaches Show was being brought to you by Love's Travel Stop and Country Stores, OG&E, and SSM St. Anthony's Health Systems. You know, this has been a wonderful evening and a wonderful show, a lot of information shared, and again, we hope to see you next week, same time, same place, on 105.3 HD1. Good night, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City Blue basketball is here. KINB 105.3 FM. He's live. He's nationwide on CBS Sports Radio. This is the Zach Gelb Show.